Hey there, aloha, dear friends. It has been brought to my attention that paragraphs 120 and 121 were somehow overlooked. So, back to the advent of divine justice, jumping in very much towards the final part of this immaculate, amazing letter from Shoghi Effendi, paragraph 120. That the world is beset with perils, that dangers are now accumulating and are actually threatening the American nation, no clear-eyed observer can possibly deny. The earth is now transformed into an armed camp. As much as 50 million men are either under arms or in reserve. I wonder what the number is today. No less than the sum of £3 billion is being spent in 1 year on armaments. Again, I wonder what it is today. The light of religion is dimmed and moral authority disintegrating. The nations of the world have for the most part fallen a prey to battling ideologies that threaten to disrupt the very foundations of their clearly won political unity. Agitated multitudes in these countries seethe with discontent, are armed to the teeth, are stampeded with fear, and groan beneath the yoke of tribulations engendered by political strife, racial fanaticism, national hatreds, and religious animosities. The winds of despair, Baha'u'llah has unmistakably affirmed, are alas blowing from every direction, and the strife that divides and afflicts the human race is daily increasing. The signs of impending convulsions and chaos can now be discerned. The ills Abdul-Baha'i, writing as far back as 2 decades ago, has prophesied, from which the world now suffers, will multiply. The gloom which envelops it will deepen. The Balkans will remain disconnected. Its restlessness will increase. The vanquished powers will continue to agitate. They will resort to every measure that may rekindle the flame of war. Movements newly born and worldwide in their range will exert their utmost for the advancement of their designs. The movement of the left will require great importance. Its influence will spread. Interesting in that passage from Abdul-Baha'i that the left is capitalized, which I understand is like the left versus right priorities. But powers is also capitalized. The vanquished powers will continue to agitate. They will resort to every measure that may rekindle the flame of war. So to me that sounds like he's talking about the political powers. But then I'm used to words being capitalized referring to the divine. So I'm a little confused about that. Maybe some of you who are brighter than I can explain this to me. As to the American nation itself, the voice of its own president, emphatic and clear, warns his people that a possible attack upon their country has been brought infinitely closer by the development of aircraft and other factors. Its Secretary of State, addressing at a recent conference the assembled representatives of all the American republics, utters no less ominous a warning. These resurgent forces loom threateningly throughout the world. Their ominous shadow falls athwart our own hemisphere. As to its press, the same note of warning and of alarm at an appro at I'm sorry. As to its press, the same note of warning and of alarm at an approaching danger is struck. Quote, we must be prepared to defend ourselves from within and without. Our defensive frontier is long. It reaches from Alaska's Point Barrow to Cape Horn and ranges the Atlantic and the Pacific. When or where Europe's and Asia's aggressors may strike at us, no one can say. It could be anywhere, anytime. We have no option save to go armed ourselves. We must mount vigilant guard over the Western Hemisphere. The paragraph 121. The distance that the American nation has traveled since its formal and categorical repudiation of the Wilsonian ideal, the changes that have unexpectedly overtaken it in recent years, the direction in which world events are moving with their inevitable impact on the policies and the economy of that nation, are to every Baha'i observer viewing the developments in the international situation in the light of the prophecies of both Baha'u'llah and Abdul-Baha'i most significant and highly instructive and encouraging. To trace the exact course which in these troubled times and pregnant years this nation will follow would be impossible. We can only, judging from the direction its affairs are now taking, anticipate the course she will most likely choose to pursue in her relationships with both the republics of America and the countries of the remaining continents. Alaupa, dear friends, thank you for studying this very important document with me. Have a great day out there making the world a better place and playing your part in this momentous chapter in history we are lucky to be alive in. Oh, and if you want to subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff, it helps elevate the video. And I also have links to my Patreon if you'd like to support the behind-the-scenes work of this and be one of my comrades behind the scenes. That would be awesome. Links below. Ciao, you guys.